go to the phones. Susie in Philly, welcome to the program, Susie.
Hey, Sam, it's Susie Madrak.
Oh, hi, Susan. How are you?
Hi. Well, thanks to Obamacare, I'm still alive.
All right, Susie Madrak, folks. Tell us the story.
Well, about a year ago, I started to have really severe attacks of pancreatitis, which, can kill you. And I kept going to the emergency room, and they kept saying, well, you need to have your gallbladder out right away. This is an emergency. You can't let this go. And I'd say, well, I don't have any insurance. And all of a sudden, it wasn't an emergency anymore. And finally, I found out, and it's not well publicized, and the quality and the accessibility varies from state to state, but part of Obamacare is that there was a bridge program put into place that allows you to get pre-existing condition coverage that's pretty well subsidized through your state. And
these are the sort of the like you say, the bridge. These are sort of the high risk pools that people can buy into before the notion of pre-existing conditions, guaranteed access essentially kicks in 2014.
Right, and in Pennsylvania, it was very easy to fill out the form, and it was very affordable. It's not like gold-plated coverage. There's still like a 20% copay, but if you haven't had an insurance for 6 months and you just got diagnosed with cancer, I mean, literally, it's a lifesaver.
Indeed.
And a lot of people don't know about this. And again, it is very different from state to state. I have a friend in Oregon who was looking into it, and it's like a 10-page application, and then after you fill out the whole thing, they tell you you're going into a lottery. I mean, it's really weird. But my son, who lives in New York, just found out that he's eligible for it, and it's only $400-something a month, which for New York is pretty cheap. So this is an option that, even though I think, I'm not happy with the Affordable Care Act. I think it was a sellout to the insurance industry. I think it's pretty crappy, and it's kind of like Frankenstein's monster. It's put together of a bunch of different parts, that are sort of supposed to make a coherent whole. But it is literally a lifesaver for a lot of people, and I wanted to make that clear to people, and that if there is something, if you haven't had insurance and you have a serious health problem, just Google whatever state you live in and then put state pre-existing condition plan and see what's available where you are, because this is a real nice benefit that a lot of people just don't know about.
Yeah, I spoke to when I was down during the hearings. We spoke to actually she wrote an op-ed that got widely passed around. I think about 5 or 6 months ago, and her name does not it's not coming to me at the moment, but she is a progressive activist. I think she ran some type of not-for-profit organization. She was one of those people who really had big problems with the Affordable Care Act. And then she was diagnosed with cancer and was able, I think it was in California, if I'm not mistaken, to get into one of these high-risk pools. And she also had the same story. It literally saved her life. And it's, that's why on balance, you're talking, it's very easy to bemoan the fact that this is a prop up to the private insurance company and not recognize the fact that it's going to literally save people's lives.
Yeah. Now, but I know the person you're talking about. She wasn't an activist. She was a young woman, and I think it was in North Carolina. And I did follow up, and what it turned out was that she was absolutely devastated by the amount of debt that she was left with, even after the coverage, and she was being hounded by medical debt collection agencies. So this is not a perfect plan,
right?
By any stretch of the imagination, and it requires you to have enough money I mean, I've been unemployed for 4 years. You know, it requires you to have enough money to make those insurance payments, you know, which is a real burden for people. But there may be some people who, for whatever reason, just haven't bought insurance because they didn't think anything bad would happen to them, and who can now go get some kind of coverage under this. But, you know, again, my biggest complaint about the Affordable Care Act is that I don't think the subsidies are enough.
Right.
You know, whenever you get think tankers sitting around talking, the conversation always goes something like, well, let's put a large copay on this to make sure they're not using it frivolously.
Right.
Because, you know, I always, you know, whenever I'm bored, I just decide to go to the emergency room and burn up a couple of $1,000.
Well, of course.
You know, so
Of course. I mean, everyone knows that if you can get affordable health care, you're just going to keep, that's what everybody wants. That's what the people will give, you know, give a colonoscopy as a Father's Day gift. And yeah, of course.
Well, let me tell you another part of this, which is, again,
Susie, you got to just back off your mic a little bit because you're just getting a little bit muffled.
Okay, there are a lot of little holes in this, and one of them that I just found out was that after I had my surgery, my doctor insisted I have a colonoscopy, which under the Affordable Care Act, insurance companies are supposed to pay for as a preventive health measure.
Right.
But if they find a polyp and they snip it off, then this becomes a surgery, and you have to cough up, 20% or whatever your copay is.
Wow.
So, you know, but what I think will happen, and I'm speaking strictly in the long term, what I think will happen is that there will be a lot of consumer demand and pressure placed on members of Congress to tax these things. And I think that once people start using it and see the benefits of it, they're going to say, oh, okay, this works except for this, and now I want my congressman to fix that.
Right.
So, and you know, the other people, they're just never going to like anything that was brought up by a Democrat. I mean, my mother used to tell me stories about when she was a young woman working in a bank, and Franklin Roosevelt was coming to town, and they were having a parade through the downtown section. And the women who worked at the bank were warned not to go to the parade or they would lose their jobs because the bankers hated Roosevelt so much because of Social Security. Huh. You know, people like that are just never going to give up. They're just not happy unless they're angry at a Democrat over something.
Indeed.
But for regular people, I just think that when they get to see how the system works and you get to get feedback to your political representatives. I mean, that's the thing. When you put together a bill that's this big and this comprehensive, they already know that there's all kinds of holes in it that they have to go back attached because there's simply no way to work them all out ahead of time in the original legislation. So, you know, people need to pay attention and they need to let their local people know what they think of it. Because I think that a lot of these Republican Congress people, when they start getting calls from people saying, you know, I really like this except for this, why don't you work for that? It's going to kind of take the wind out of their sails.
I think so.
You know,
I think so.
Once it becomes seen as a real benefit, I think that's what's going to happen. So I'm glad it's funny. I mean, I do think that on the whole, it's a horrible piece of legislation, again, because it's so susceptible in terms of the subsidies, because Republicans can always slash them whenever they have control, and I think that leaves too many people too vulnerable. But I have to say that when the decision was announced, I wept, and I was so surprised at myself, you know, because I didn't realize what a relief it was to know that I wasn't going to get kicked off my insurance.
Wow. All right. Well,
So,
Susie Madrak, you can check her out at Suburban Gorilla and Crooks and Liars. Thanks so much for calling in. I appreciate you sharing your story.
Sure. Thanks for having me on, Sam.